Hi guys, back with another 10-minute game in review. We are playing as white, so I'll open up e4, knight f3. Philidor defense, I believe d4 is best here. I'm just gonna develop my bishop. I'm not 100% sure of how that line goes. I know if I exchange here, knight comes here, and then they castle. Let me place my queen here. Maybe I can get my queen active here. 'Cause I don't want to play into an opening that I don't know, where the opponent's kind of asking me for trading. Um, Normally, if a person's trying to kind of gouge you into trading, they know more of the opening than they're like comfortable with that. They're normally comfortable with that. In this case, knight here. Maybe I'll pin. You push. I think I exchange. And then that'll discourage castling queenside. Just supporting in the center. Castling. Before I get my bishop active, let me play h3. Knight here. Okay. These bishops are really not in good position. Here. Develop this knight with tempo. Okay. Let me try fianchettoing my bishop. Okay. If I take, just more doubled pawns. Let's think. Here, takes. Here, here. No, here, here. Blunting the bishop. I just pull it back, and then I have this diagonal. I think I like c4. And before I do that, let me get my here. Bishop to a better square. Okay. Forcing the exchange, and maybe there. Here. Might just go queen back. Okay. Looking to push here. That's what I'm thinking about. That is what I'm thinking about. Here, here, here. Takes. Or no. Okay. Quit. Push. Let's just say, waiting move. Push. Takes. You have to bring the F, rook F to B8, because on here, I would just stack a pawn. Takes. Takes. And that's not something I want to get, actually. Here. Um, A. Takes. Takes. Try that. Here. Okay. And here. I'll put my knight there. Here. There. This pawn, pass pawn, but I don't see myself, and it's not like I can just put my there. Okay. I go here. There. Go there. Takes this. Rook comes here. I think I just come here. There. Rather, rook here. Here. Takes. 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 And then rook here. There. Like, this is such a weak pawn. Very weak pawn. Could have a hard time defending it. Okay. I take. Go here. Here. Take. 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 Now, I think if I go here, go there, go here, rook there. Maybe I go rook here. Okay. Go on here, prevent this. I want to get this bishop off that square. So I think I pull this here, and then if rook here, I just push. Okay. I walk my here. Checks. Oh, stay here, there, 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 there. Okay. I'll push on, protected by the rook. Then I just have to worry about this one here. Maybe I just push again. There. Active. Here. There. There. Check. There. Come there. Now, check. Come here. Give me a check. There. Let me go here first. Push, push. Much better position. This is a bad pawn. Bad pawn. Check. There. All right. Unfortunate blunder. I don't think I'm won yet, but an unfortunate blunder. Okay. Let's bring my king around. Bring my king around. If you push, I just... Oof. Thank God he blundered, because I was in a really bad position there. Super weak pawn. Very well defended pawns in the center. Not good for me on that one. Thank God he blundered. I don't think he thinking about this bishop. I think he just got blind to it. I'll have to look after the game to see how it could have avoided making such bad pawn moves, pawn exchanges that, or exchanges that led to such a good pawn structure for black. Philidor defense I'm not super familiar with. Looks like I didn't play it well, but let's see what happens in the rest of the game. Oh, like there, lets them push here, so that's what I was hesitant with. Okay. And your plan of walking this side. May go there. Okay. All right. So if that's the case, can't talk. These two pawns are a bit frozen, so now I might start attacking here. Okay. Can push there, and you'll have a pawn advancing that way, but I think uh here. Here. I know I'm gonna lose that pawn, but I want to get my king to d1. All right. So my king's at d1. Can't be can't be kicked off the d1 square. So my next goal is win these pawns. Okay. Here, forcing that exchange, pushing there. Here, I just take. King here, I think I still do that. And then takes here, there. I come and capture this pawn. All right. Here, takes. Here. I think I exchange here. And then I push here, preventing any ideas of the king coming to capture this pawn. If you go here, I just promote. If you waste time going here, I capture, and I have a passed pawn. I think that was the move to make. Rook takes f4. Okay. Here. Here. Okay. We here. Enter opposition. Here. Enter opposition. Go here. Push. There. Okay. There. Push. There. Opposition. Opposition. Here. Promote. Check. Check. Okay. All right. So we were saved by a blunder. I have a funny feeling that I was completely lost before the rook blunder. I definitely need to look at the Philidor defense because I knew of some moves there, but didn't know much of which trades to make. But we'll take a look. Take a look. Okay. Didn't play great. Looks like I made a big blunder here, and then this must have been the rook trade. Right. Let's do self-analysis, and let's wait for the engine to catch up. Right. 4, 5, knight f3, d6, 4. Bishop e6 is an accuracy. I would have figured this was a perfectly fine move. So actually taking is the preferred move. Pawn takes, and then I'm assuming maybe 4. Yeah, d4 hopes to start taking space in the center. And white is a bit better. What I have seen before is instead of bishop or instead of pawn here playing knight f6 Petrov, and then you can exchange here, and this is the different opening. All right, d6. I've also seen just the immediate d4, and then takes, knight here, knight here, here. I think might be bishop c4. This is the Scotch, but this is the kind of move order I'm more familiar with. But back to the game. d6, bishop c4. So likes bishop e7. Or no, not bishop. Yeah, bishop e7. Here. Good. My computer's lagging a bit. Bishop e7. I'm assuming, yeah, 4, e takes d4. Knight takes. Assuming knight f6, another developing move. And this is an even game. And then castle. Now wait, that loses. No, it's not. Knight c. Knight c3. Okay, so there's more developing moves. This is how I should have played. All right, so bishop e6 and an accuracy. We need 2 in an accuracy because it wants bishop takes, but it looks like this isn't a completely losing move, just not the best move. Knight c6, bishop e5. Exchanging is good. Knight c6 is an inaccuracy. I'm assuming it wants, yeah, this d4. D4 is really strong in these positions, is what the engine is suggesting. And you don't give black this time to push in the center. You take some space, and you can plant your knight in the center. Even though it can be kicked around, it's just going to be better than letting black push in the center and kind of have their way. Right, so knight, that was a mistake. Knight f6 is a miss. It wants c5, maybe to route your bishop this way. Maybe eventually getting a knight in that way. Okay. 3 is an inaccuracy. Just not a good move. Really wants d4. Bishop 7. Castles, castles. h3 is best. Getting a luft. Knight e8 wants rook e8. Looking to just get ready to open up the center. Pile up here. E8. Knight d1's a mistake. Really wants d4. Opening up the center. f5. Okay. Black is better here. And looks like probably a fianchetto this bishop does not look like a good one. So knight d1, it wants d4, opening up the center, because black's pieces look like they control more squares, and they have better prospects about the bishop pair. Once the middle opens up, once the center of the board opens up, the bishop pair is being much, much stronger. And black being able to trade in the center and keep pawns in the center. 6, bishop b2 is a mistake, so getting this fianchettoed bishop really doesn't help me. It likes bishop d2. Let's see why bishop d2. Bishop d2. 8. And then fe1. Here. Probably would have opted here. Check these squares. In the Italian, that's a pretty common knight move. Okay. Black is better, but it looks like the fianchettoing on this bishop was definitely a mistake. 5. Okay. Once knight h5 for black. This. Good. Back to about even. Okay. Black. So I've seen this where black wants to either trade a piece or just push here and try to take a bunch of space in the center. This doesn't work because of this pawn is would be blundered, but earlier in the game, pushing here, I've seen that a lot in these types of positions. All right, so c4 is best. Okay, planting a knight there. Getting this bishop off that poor diagonal. Getting my rooks connected. My bishop really had no other areas to go, so just d2. Queen g6. Rook g4. Not rook. Queen g4 is an inaccuracy. b4 is best. Just immediately chipping away at black center. That should have... Yeah, I should have picked up on that. Immediately chipping away at black center, because later black center wins black the game. Or would have won black the game. So immediately chipping away at black center, because I think I just didn't think about how strong this center was, but immediately chipping away is best. Okay. a5, a3 is a mistake. It wants f3. Okay, in case any exchanges I can take there. Okay, a3 is a mistake because, yeah, rook fb8. Okay. Five is a good move. 65 is good, but knight g3 is best. That I don't even think I looked at this. I think I was just too worried about pawns piling down the board. Okay. Take bishop takes e4. Takes. Then these pawns are going to be coming down the board soon. All right. Black, I like black's position much better than white. I did not consider how strong these pawns were. I did not give them much credence. Knight d2 is a mistake. It wants bishop 4. Oh, no, yeah, it is. I don't know why I just blanked on this. Can't take because you're pinned. Okay. 6. Knight takes. Then what happens if, say, go... What about take? A4. I would not have played A4. Why is A4? Oh, that's an inaccuracy. Rook C4. Rook C4. Bishop back. Oh, wait. That wouldn't make any sense. Okay. You with the analysis. Rook C8. Okay, that's where we left off. This, I could not think of. I could not think of bringing this bishop here. I just didn't even see it. So that's just need to practice my tactics. My tactics and my puzzles, because I just didn't even consider that move. So rook takes c4 is best, but black is better. All right, so I am definitely losing. Bishop g3 is a mistake. Rook a4. Okay, but I mean, minus 1.5. I'm losing really no matter what. Rook is coming in. Yeah. Okay. Really lose. King e2 is best. Or king e2 is a miss. It wants rook c2. Rook c2. And what? Just rook a2? Rook e. Rook e6. Then bishop e1. Okay. Back to close to e. I did not think of that. Here I knew I was just completely lost. I had no idea how to try to save this. All I was thinking was just bishop here. He pushes. I was probably just gonna go here or just pull back here. Really had no idea what to do. Check. Just a blunder. I got saved by the bell on this one with this blunder. So from here, I would have been. I was completely lost. I was outplayed positionally. Thankfully, I got saved by the bell with that blunder, and the rest of the game is just kind of endgame principles, trying to walk your king over, and capturing the pawns that I could. Let's see what mistakes I made, because I was okay. Oh, king f1. I should have brought my king closer because this was going to be a passed pawn. Okay. Okay. 6, bishop 3, king f1. The draw, but okay. Now it's back because my king, I finally made it to f1, and I had the tempo, or the tempi to get it here. Okay. I knew I would eventually have to put my king here, but didn't do it quick enough, and black could have squeaked away with a draw. But because he wasted too much time, it allowed me to pick up on my mistake and exchange some pawns and create a passer. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Rook takes f4 is a mistake. G5 is best. There. Maybe check. Okay. There. Okay. So G5 is best. Why is this a draw? I was not going to go king 1. About king here. King here should be... That's still a draw. Is that a draw? Push. 5. Take. You have to go king e5 to keep the draw. Okay. I would probably have pushed. King f6. I would have gone here. Takes. Takes. King f6. And then the... Oh, because he gets the enter opposition. Let's say I try this. Okay. Here, I think this is losing. No, it's still a draw. King f2 is best. Opposition. 5, and it's just a draw on endgame. Draw on king upon endgame. Wow, okay. The rook move was draw. I need to review my endgames. Okay. Wow, a single move, another blunder. Wow, this is a drawn endgame. I need to review my endgames. I really, really do. King g5 was best. I was going to go here. 6 takes, but you're in time to enter opposition. Wow. Single king move is a blunder and loses the game. Then that lets me enter opposition and get my pawn down the board. Wow. So needed to calculate much more about how everything shakes out and whose king enters opposition and is ahead of the pawn and can has that extra tempo to kind of get the enemy king out of the way. Wow. That was not my best game. A game that I definitely need to spend some more time reviewing, especially the end game and the opening, because I was not super familiar with. I'm not super familiar with the Philidor defense. The end game, just king and pawn end game that I simply need to learn more about and review. So maybe in a future video we'll be doing that. But that was an instructive game. Important positional mistakes and ideas that I missed, tactics that I missed, and then thankfully he blundered, and he blundered a couple times, and I was able to capitalize on those. But I blundered myself, blundered into losing positions, and blundered a winning position into a draw. So not my best game, but a lot to learn from this. Gonna take what I can from this of need to review endgames, review openings that I don't see too much like the Philidor, review tactics. So really just all around I was making mistakes in this game, but a lot to learn from this one. All right. Thank you so much. See you in the next one.